respect of intelligent men and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it, whether by an improved poppy, a perfect poem, or a rescued soul, who has never lacked appreciation of earth's beauty, nature, or failed to express it, who has always looked for the best in others and given them the best he had, whose life was an inspiration, whose memory a benediction. So she was born in Iowa, died in 1952, and this Live, Love, and Laugh is from her poem, Success. You know, I read the other day the 2022 Happiness Report, and I just thought it was kind of interesting. I jotted it down here. Happiness comes, this is direct from the 2022 Happiness Report. Happiness comes from family, nature, and community, in that order. Not from money, the study shows. Well, family, nature, and community. This is a community here.
Yes.
And if you've lost your family or you don't have it, you know, it's, what was that line in the TV show Cheers? You've got to go where everybody knows your name. Mm-hmm. And we are so fortunate, aren't we? And family, number one. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, this talk today is centered around, by the way, I'd like to introduce you to Joey English. Joey, stand up, please. Joey English is the radio, the voice of the desert. And you're on how many days a week? 5, well, come here just and talk.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, I'm the 7th generation descendant from a Methodist minister on one side. I married a Jewish man whose name escapes me in a Mormon town. I just want to get there, but now I can add that I've been to the spiritual center in Yucca Valley.
There you go.
Right? And if that isn't enough, I worked with George Burns, who many of you may know was God. No, what do you want me to do? Sit back down.
No, we appreciate you being.
Oh, thank you. I'm on the radio, and Steve and Lalo are on the radio a lot with me on 5 different channels, 5 hours a day.
Including the High Desert channel.
Including the High Desert, 5 days a week, and I love it. I have a face for radio. Thank you.
Joey will be reciting a few things. Our friend Michael will be. Doria will. So we've got different people as well as Denise Myers. And we're going to be referring to, now this,
You can't see.
Auda, would you bring it over here and hang this up, or hold this up? This is Auda. Okay. Now, A.A. Milne wrote Winnie the Pooh, and I know that the teddy bears are brown, but this is the representation that we have today, a polar bear. But A.A. Milne, thank you, Auda. Talent is beyond recognized. I'm going to say something brilliant here. He was a British author. This is A.A. Milne in the 1920s. So Winnie the Pooh is over 100 years old. And of course, he based his characters on his son, Christopher Robin. And Christopher's stuffed animals, Winnie the Pooh and the friends Piglet, Eeyore, Kanga, Roo, and Tigger. And their country home in England's Ashtown Forest. Disney bought the rights to Winnie the Pooh in 1961, introducing even more children to the cheerful bear and his love of the simple joys of life. So when we talk about live, love, and laugh, we will be following it up with quotes from Winnie the Pooh, which I just think are quite moving, to be quite honest. Let's start with life. My feelings are this is your life. Do what you love and do it often. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't like your job, quit, right? If you don't have enough time, then stop watching TV. If you are looking for the love of your life, stop. They will be waiting for you when you start doing things you love. Stop over-analyzing. Life is simple. All emotions are beautiful. When you eat, appreciate every last bite. Open your mind, your arms, and heart to new things and people. We are united in our differences. Ask the next person you see what their passion is and share your inspiring dream with them. Travel often. And go through adult customized tours when you do. No, travel often. Getting lost will help you find yourself. Some opportunities only come once. Seize them. Then you'll have no regrets. Life is about the people you meet and the things you create with them. So go out and start creating. Life is short. We all know that, don't we? Live your dream and share your passion. All right, now, what does A.A. Milne have to say about this in his book, Winnie the Pooh? These are just a couple quotes. Rivers know this. There is no hurry. We shall get there someday. Another one. I always get to where I'm going by walking away from where I have been. Another one. We didn't know we were making memories. We just knew we were having fun. Isn't that beautiful? Again, we didn't know we were making memories. Don't analyze this. You know, we didn't even know that we were making memories. We just knew we were having fun. So keep life simple. When life throws you a rainy day, play in the puddles. A couple of others. And I'd like to ask you maybe how you interpret this. So if you'd raise your hand, I feel like I'm a teacher again. Queen Elizabeth, of course, just passed away, beloved Queen of England. She said, never complain, never explain. That was her life philosophy. Never complain, never explain. What does it mean?
Keep calm and carry on.
Keep calm and carry on.
That was hers too.
That was also hers, Joey says. Never complain, never explain. You know, these days, you've read a lot about how divided America is. And if you engage in political talk, or similar. I remember we were walking our dogs once, and the lady was walking by, and she had a mask on, but we live up here in the Western Hills, and it was out in nature. And she said, I noticed that you're not wearing a mask. And I said, yeah, we prefer it this way. And she said, well, I am wearing one. Let me explain. Why? I don't really care why. Any more than she cares why I'm probably not wearing a mask. So this never complain, never explain, you know? And if you are one side of the political aisle, you're not going to change that person probably, and they're not going to change you. I don't know. It's just you brought this to my attention, Ms. English. Never complain, never explain. Queen Elizabeth II. Friendship is a time of, before we have you come up and read that, Joey. Joan Rivers said, I enjoy life when things are happening. I don't care if they're good things or bad things. That means you're alive. Things are happening. Isn't that nice? Finally, I wrote down, you make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give. Okay, Joey, now you are going to quote something from that is printed in Fern Brooks' Food for Thought. I want her to come and speak to our spiritual centers. This is priceless. In fact, I will buy everybody a copy. She's having it reprinted. I'll buy you all a copy to take home.
Yay!
Okay. So when you come up and read your Friendship is Timeless.
Fernfield Brooks is the producer of Monk, you know, the television show that's on all the time now. She's also a trained opera singer, and she lived in Italy. So she's delightful. She's going to speak at ACT Tours 3221. Oh, never mind. She's going to be speaking at their travel club. Have you all ever been to that? It's free, and it's the first Wednesday of every month, and it's so wonderful. 300 people go, and they're all very nice. So I'm going to read this right here.
Please.
Okay. I love it that you made it about math and the bank, because you know I do not do math. But I'll give this a shot. Friendship is timeless. Suppose there was a bank that credits your account each morning with $86,400. It carries over no balance from day to day. Every evening it deletes whatever part of the balance you failed to use during the day. What would you do? Draw out every cent, of course. Even I knew that. Each of us has such a bank. It's called time. Each morning it credits you with 86,400 seconds. Each night it writes off as lost whatever of this you have failed to invest to good purpose. It carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day it opens a new account for you. Each night it burns the remains of the day. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours. There's no going back. There's no drawing against tomorrow. You must live in the present on today's deposit. Invest it so as to get from it the utmost in health, happiness, and success. The clock is ticking. Make the most of today.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so ends our talk on life. Live, love, and laugh. So let's talk about love. I think I would like Denise Myers to come up and read a puppy story.
That's appropriate.
I know we chose Denise because you said you have how many animals?
29.
29, including your husband?
Yeah. Well, 30 then and a coop full of chickens. I haven't counted them.
Tell us the story about love.
All right.
Fix the mic for her, Steve.
Oh. A store owner was tacking a sign above his door that read, "Puppies for sale." Signs like that have a way of attracting small children. And sure enough, a little boy appeared under the store owner's sign. "How much are you going to sell the puppies for, sir?" The store owner replied, "Anywhere from $30 to $50. The little boy reached into his pocket and pulled out some change. "I have $2.37, he said. "Can I please look at them?" The store owner smiled and whistled, and out of the kennel came Lady, who ran down the aisle of his store, followed by 5 teeny furball puppies. One puppy was lagging considerably behind. Immediately the little boy singled out the lagging, limping puppy and said, "What's wrong with that little dog?" The store owner explained that the veterinarian had examined the little puppy and discovered it didn't have a hip socket. It would always limp. It would always be lame. The little boy became excited. "That is the puppy I want to buy." The store owner said, "No, you don't want to buy that little dog. If you really want him, I'll just give him to you." The little boy got very quiet and upset. He looked straight into the store owner's eyes, pointing his finger, and said, "I don't want you to give him to me. That little dog is worth every bit as much as those other dogs, and I'll pay full price. In fact, I'll give you $2.37 now and 50 cents a month until I have him paid for. The store owner countered. You really don't want to buy this little dog. He is never going to be able to run and jump and play with you like the other puppies would. To his surprise, the little boy reached down, rolled up his pant leg to reveal a badly twisted, crippled left leg, supported by a big metal brace. He looked up at the store owner and softly replied, "Well, I don't run so well myself, and the little puppy will need someone who understands." And at the bottom, it says we all need someone who understands.
Is that love or what? What's the difference between sympathy and empathy? Joe?
One's in your head and one's in your heart.
That's an interesting definition or differentiation. Yes.
Sympathy is when you actually feel sorry for someone, and empathy is when you try to feel what they must feel, what they likely feel.
So feeling versus understanding. Yeah. If you have sympathy, you understand because you've been there. But empathy. And so in your story that you just read about the puppy, I would say that it would be sympathizing because the kid understands, right? A lot of these tales will involve empathy and sympathy. Another example of this, Mike, will you come up and read, where are you, Michael? Would you come up and read Making a Difference?
Well, I suppose. You know, I was picking up a telepathic message when you began, and I ran out to the front door, and there he was, our Yucca Valley Center for Spiritual Living porter, and he felt that he had been forgotten.
Oh!
And
Here, hold it up so that people can see it. It's
he's doing something sort of odd on the other side. You can see it better.
We're not in the laughter section yet. We're still in the love section.
He keeps our door open.
I couldn't resist, or he couldn't resist. Okay.
Try to.
Well, first we can prayerfully take to heart the words of Paul in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Our Heavenly Father desires that in times like these, we turn to Him in prayer and present our requests to Him. Share your worries, fears, helplessness, and concerns. They are no surprise to Him. He delights in our turning to Him for comfort and peace in times of distress. He desires to help us through difficult days and longs to be a part of our everyday lives in difficult times. And just as importantly, the Lord desires to share in our everyday joys and accomplishments.
But that was
Yes, you did.
Making a Difference?
Yes.
That was the one that I wanted you to read.
Oh, well, hand it to me.
Didn't I give it to you?
Oh, yeah, I do have another page.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get it?
Yes. Quickly. Walk like Festus. I'm joking. Come on. That was the one that I wanted you to read, although what you just said was very warm too.
Oh, that's right. We're still on love, aren't
Yeah.
You're fired.
Okay, Making a Difference.
You'll have to suffer with me again. Making a Difference. Oh, now I know why you wanted me to read this one. as the old man walked the beach at dawn, he noticed a young woman. She was ahead of him, picking up starfish and flinging them into the sea. Finally, catching up with the youth, he asked her why she was doing this. Her answer was that the stranded starfish would die if left until the morning sun shone bright overhead. But the beach goes on for miles, and there are millions of starfish, countered the old man. How can your efforts make any difference? The young woman, well, she looked at the starfish in her hand and threw it safely into the waves. It makes a difference to this one, she said.
Thank you. Empathy or sympathy?
Empathy.
That was empathy.
Empathy.
She didn't know what it was like, but she fell for the starfish. Another word for love. And there's only one more, and I'm asking Doria to read it. Doria, can you come up? This is an especially good one as well. And the title of it is, oh, no wonder I forgot it. It's called A Story.
A story about a woman named Ruth. This story mentions Jesus, but you can replace that with God, source, universe, energy, however you interpret it. Ruth went to her mailbox one day and found a letter. She picked it up and looked at it before opening it. But then she looked at the envelope again. There was no stamp, there was no postmark, there was only a name and an address. So she read the letter. Dear Ruth, I'm going to be in your neighborhood Saturday afternoon and I'd like to stop by for a visit. Love always, Jesus. Her hands were shaking as she placed the letter on the table. Why would the Lord want to visit me? I'm nobody special, and I really don't have anything to offer. With that thought, Ruth remembered her empty kitchen cabinets. Oh gosh, now I really don't have anything to offer. I'm gonna have to run to the store and buy something for dinner. She reached for her purse and counted out the contents. A whopping $5.40. Well, I can get some bread and some cold cuts, she thought. So she threw on her coat and she ran out the door. A loaf of French bread, a half a pound of sliced turkey, and a carton of milk was what she was able to purchase, leaving Ruth with a grand total of 12 cents left. Nevertheless, she felt good as she headed home, her meager offerings tucked under her arm. On the way back home, she met some people. Hey lady, can you help us? But Ruth had been so absorbed in her dinner plans that she hadn't even noticed that two figures were huddled in the alleyway. It was a man and a woman, both of them dressed in little more than rags. Look, lady, I ain't got no job, you know? Can you help us out? We've been living on the streets and it's kind of getting cold out here. We're hungry. We'd really appreciate it. Ruth looked at both of them. They were dirty, and frankly, she was certain that they could get some kind of work if they really wanted to. Sir, I'd really like to help you, but I'm a poor woman myself. All I have is a few cold cuts and some bread, and I'm having a really important guest come tonight. Yeah, well, okay, lady, I understand, they said. Thanks anyways. The man put his arm around the woman's shoulder, turned his head back into the alleyway. As she watched them leave, Ruth felt a familiar twinge in her heart. Sir, wait. The couple stopped and turned as she ran down the alleyway after them. Look, why don't you just take this food? I'll figure something else out to serve to my guest. So so she handed the man the entire grocery bag. Oh my gosh, thank you, lady. Thank you so much. It was actually the man's wife, and Ruth could see that she was shivering. You know, I've got another coat at home. Here, why don't you just take this one? Ruth unbuttoned her jacket and slipped it over the woman's shoulders, and then smiling, she turned and walked back down the street without her coat and with nothing to serve her guest. Thank you, lady. Thank you so much. Ruth was chilled by the time she got home. When she reached her front door, needless to say, she was a bit worried too. I mean, after all, the Lord was coming to visit her. And she didn't have anything to offer him. She fumbled through her purse for the door key. But as she did, she noticed another envelope in her mailbox. It's really odd, she thought. The mail only usually comes once a day. She took the envelope out of the box and opened it. Dear Ruth, it was so good to see you again. Thank you so much for the lovely meal. And thank you for the beautiful coat as well. Love, always, Jesus. The air was still cold, but even without her coat, somehow Ruth no longer noticed.
Is that beautiful or what? Thank you, Dory. What a great reader you are. So what did A.A. Milne have to say about love? This again quotes from Winnie the Pooh. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. If you live to be 100, I hope I live to be 100 minus 1 day, so that I never have to live a day without you. Beautiful things like this. These are gems from Winnie the Pooh. Another one. How lucky I am to have something that makes me, let me repeat this. How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Isn't that beautiful? And then there is this, and I always get, I think these are some of the most beautiful words ever written. And it pertains to if you have to say goodbye to somebody going into the military or your beloved one who's about to pass away or something. But this, I'm going to try to read it. And this was Christopher Robin talking to his teddy bear at the end. He said, if ever there was a tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are, I can't read it. Could you read it?
Where is it? He said, if ever there is a tomorrow when we are not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we're apart, I'll always be with you.
All right. Where's Paul? Paul, come up.
Paul's here.
Before we just wrap this up with a few laughs. Do you remember Puff the Magic Dragon? A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giants' rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. And that last quote, Christopher Robin saying goodbye to Winnie the Pooh. All right, I'm a grown man. Would you sing Puff the Magic Dragon? Because it's sort of with this, and then we'll...
Okay, I'd like to invite Joe Dillon to come up here and play the harmonica for me. Key of G, bro. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. And little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff, and brought in strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail, and Jackie kept a lookout perch on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. And one gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales he felt like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane without his lifelong friend. Puff could not be brave, so Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Hey! Thank you, Bob Dylan.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. All right, final one, live, love, and laugh. We're talking about laughter. Proverb says, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. And also there's a Chinese proverb that says, if I keep a green bough, which is a merry heart, in my heart, a singing bird will come. So there are a couple of stories. Lalo, your sister Christina, stand up, Christina, just for a second. Come here. Yes.
Venga.
This is Christina. So I told Lalo's sister, mi casa, su casa. And she said to get the hell off of her property. You know, I was a teacher at the adult school in Palm Springs. And I was teaching different courses at the adult school in Palm Springs. And one of them was English as a second language. And so you had a lot of students from different countries come. One of them was from, and before, you know, the classes started, I went over the roll so I could pronounce the names correctly. And one of them was from India. Last name was Gandhi. But her first name was spelled Shital. So oh my God. But I know that in most countries, I is pronounced long E. So when the time came and I had it all, I was going through everybody and I said, Gandhi, Shital. And a hand went in the back and a woman's voice cried out, Shittle. You just have to, you have to find humor in this stuff. Let's see what Winnie the Pooh has to say. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. Let me repeat that. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. A day without laughter is a day wasted. And another one from that story is life is too short to spend time with people who suck the happiness out of you.
Amen, brother.
The other day, bringing all of this together, just a while ago, I went out to my yard and I was frustrated and I said, I have one life to, and this is, and then Lalo's voice came out of the living room after he heard me too. I have one life to live and so much love to give.
Yeah, but nobody wants it.
Brought me right down to earth. You hear that? After I said I have one life to live and so much love to give, he yelled out, yeah, but nobody wants it. Oh. Joey, you're going to read one poem. It's called A Smile. Smile poem. Do you have that?
I do.
All right.
Who wrote this?
Fern Brooks, her book.
Oh, good. Fernfield Brooks. Give her credit, please. Are you going to stand?
Would you just read it, please?
Nobody wants it. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When somebody smiled at me or you today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. I saw him smile and realized I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realized its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic quick and get the world infected. Now I have to tell you, do you know who Tom Dreesen is? He's that wonderful comic. He worked with Frank Sinatra and all kinds of things. When we work together and he's emceeing lots of things, he always says, when he wants to start the show, turn to the person next to you and go, shh. So I'm going to borrow from Tom Dreesen and say, turn to the person next to you and smile. Do it. Smile, let me see it. To the person next, oh, I get you.
That just about does it. By the way, if any of you are interested, I'm going to leave this, how we began this with life, copies of life, and that beautiful quote from Winnie the Pooh about saying goodbye. We'll leave it on the table in there. I'm going to end with this. 4 things you can't get back: the stone after it's thrown, the word after it's said, the occasion after it's missed, and the time after it's gone. Dear friends, be kind to yourself today as it's a gift, and celebrate the little wins. Thank you.